Good afternoon to all. Today we will study about the torque acting on a bar magnet in uniform magnetic field. On before that, so this is third lesson, that is unit 3, magnetism and magnetic effects of electric current. So last class we studied about the magnetic field along axial line and equatorial line, the continuation of this third unit. So today we will see about the torque acting on a bar magnet in uniform magnetic field. Consider a bar magnet which is present in the uniform magnetic field. Here there are two poles are referred, north and south pole, and in between that the yellow line with arrow symbol from north to south, it denotes the magnetic field, that is uniform magnetic field. So when the magnet is fixed in this uniform magnetic field at the center of the field, the magnet of length 2L and also it pole strength QM, so that can be kept in this magnetic field. So what happened, the torque can be produced, the torque turning effect or rotating effect, so that can be produced because of there are two forces can be formed. So from the north pole the force is equal to QMB. So and also the south pole, it produces the equal and opposite force, so F is equal to minus QMB. So what happens, the two force value is, the net force value is 0. So because of this value, which will rotate and try to align itself in the direction of the magnetic field B. So now we have to find out the torque acting on this bar magnet. So what is the torque? Rotating or turning effect. So when the two force experienced here, the force experienced by north pole Fn, we have to take that as a F suffix n is equal to QMB vector, and also the force experienced by the south pole Fs is equal to minus QMB vector. So by adding these two equations, now we will get the net force acting on the dipole. So that value is 0 because QMB vector minus of QMB vector is equal to 0. So this 0, actually what happens in this bar magnet means it can be produces the rotating effect and it can also try to align itself in the direction of the magnetic field. So let's find out the value of the torque. It produces the angle theta. So because of this sine angle value, the cos angle value can be cancelled to each other. So it only denotes the sine theta value. So theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side we don't know the value. So x divided by hypotenuse 2L. So 2L sine theta is equal to x. So the value of that angle, that is value of that one of the side of the triangle is 2L sine theta. And we have to find out the torque of this, value of the torque. The general formula for tau is equal to force into perpendicular distance. So here there are two distance are there from the point O. So that is the torque value, which can be that point is center and it can be experienced by the north and south pole. So then the torque value tau is equal to, here there are two forces are formed from the center point O. That's why ON into force plus OS into force. So that is the value. So substitute the value of force value in that. Now the torque is equal to distance into QMB vector plus that distance into minus QMB vector. By using this rule, so the total torque can be, we have to calculate that. So the length of the ON and OS is equal to L, because 2L is there, total length is 2L, and the half of the length from point O is L, then L. So ON and also OS is equal to L. Then here the magnitude of the total torque, that can be, we have to taken as a modulus value. So here the minus symbol can be neglected. That's why tau is equal to L into the force value QM B. Here the theta symbol represents the sine value. So sine theta plus L into, that is cross QM B sine theta. So that is the force value here, is equal to the total value 2L into QM B sin theta. So tau is equal to 2LQ. You remember that, that is a dipole moment, magnetic dipole moment, that represents P. So PM is equal to, that is magnetic field is equal to QM into 2L. Substitute that value and minimize that. Tau is equal to PMB sin theta. So in the vector notation, tau is equal to, so here the sin theta will be there. That's why we have to use the cross. So PM cross B vector. So that is the value of tau. So the general formula for tau is equal to PM B sin theta, or in the vector form, tau is equal to, tau vector is equal to PM vector cross B vector. Now we have to calculate the potential energy of a bar magnet in a uniform magnetic field. So here also the same setup, that is the same arrangement of the bar magnet in a uniform magnetic field. Now we have to find out the potential energy, that is work done. So the energy represents generally the work done here. So now let's find out this. The same parameters we have to use, that is 2L is equal to, 2L is a distance of the two poles, and also for forming the angle of theta. Here also the same parameters we use. Now find out the potential energy for that. So on before that, you know very well about the torque. So we have to find out the torque value also. So tau is equal to general formula PMB sin theta. So here also mentioned. Now we find out the work done. So work done, dW is equal to, that is work done general formula, W is equal to force into distance. Here the work done can be produced external torque for a small angular displacement. So that's why the changing of work done, dW is equal to torque, that can be external torque can be produced into distance, that is represents here as a changing of the theta value. So d theta we are using. So dW is equal to totally torque and into d theta. Now here we have to take the torque value, substitute the torque value, then dW is equal to PM B sin theta d theta. Now integrate on both sides with the limit substitution from theta dash to theta. Here theta dash is the initial value and theta is the final value. So the dW, integration of dW is equal to W. That's why here the LHS can be W is equal to the whole value of integration of, with the limit of theta dash to theta, tau into d theta. So here then substitute the tau value here. So PM B sin theta d theta. So take the constant value outside. So PM B is the constant and integration of sin theta d theta. You know that integration of sin theta, what is the value? So integration of sin theta d theta, the value is minus cos theta. So next step, PM B within a bracket of minus cos theta, because integration of sin theta d theta value is minus cos theta. Substitute that, and also the limit substitution. So here lower limit theta dash, upper limit from initial to final. Initial can be denoted as lower value and final can be denoted as higher value. So theta dash upper value theta, then W is equal to, next step you have to substitute the limit value, limit substitution. We have to substitute the limit value, always we represents the higher limit minus lower limit, higher value minus lower value. So that's why minus, we have to take it out the minus value outside. So minus PMB inside the within a bracket higher limit minus lower limit. So instead of theta you have to substitute the theta value. So cos theta minus cos theta dash. So this is the work done stored as a potential energy in a Bohr magnet at the angle of theta. So the work done can be changes as, that is W is also equal to U. So U is equal to minus PMB within a bracket cos theta minus cos theta dash. Now we have to take the initial position value is theta dash is equal to 90 degree. Suppose you have to consider that. So what's the value? That is theta dash is equal to 90 degree. Cos 90 value is 0. So that term can be cancelled. So final value U is equal to minus PMB into cos theta. So here the potential energy in a Bohr magnet in a uniform magnetic field is a, because cos theta value is a dot product. So you have to remove the cos value. Simply you put the dot value in the vector form. So U is equal to minus PM dot B vector. So for 3 cases we have to use it. If the theta value is 0 and also 2 cases are there, theta value is 180. What happened? You have to substitute that U is equal to minus PMB cos 0. Cos 0 1. So the value is maximum minus PMB. And if theta is equal to 180 degree, then U is equal to minus PMB cos 180. So that is also the maximum value. So that is a value. So cos 180 minus 1. So the final value is PMB. So there are the 2 cases we are using. So final, what is the potential energy, that is the work done in a Bohr magnet in uniform magnetic field is U is equal to minus PM dot B vector. Next topic, magnetic properties. So here the magnetic properties, when the different magnets, all the magnets cannot form the same type of the property, but it can be forms a different forms for a different material from another. So here we have to see one by one the magnetic properties. First one, magnetizing field. So here the field represents the area. What is meant by the magnetizing field means the magnet can be magnetized around the area. So that can be, we find out the another specimen, we have to use it, find out. So that field, that magnetizing area which can be produced by the magnet is called magnetizing field. So magnetizing field means that is also magnetic field like that. So when the field, the magnetic properties is there, that is the magnetic property, attraction or repulsion is there. So that can be identified by using the another magnet. Then only we have to know about the field. Suppose very far away from the magnet there is no magnetizing field. Suppose you have to nearer to the magnet, so you also feel that. So attraction or repulsion takes place. So that area magnetizing area represents, that can be produced by the magnet is called the magnetizing field. It is, the field is a vector quantity and it is denoted by H vector and its unit is A per meter, that is A m power minus 1. So next property, magnetic permeability. Next one, magnetic permeability. So here the permeability means it can able to permit the property, that is called permeability. Here the capability, that is a magnetic material that can be able to capacity to penetrate the magnetic field through the substance. So that is called magnetic permeability. So it is a capacity of a substance to penetrate the magnetic field through the any substance, that is called magnetic permeability. Here also the magnetic permeability is the measure of ability of the material to allow the passage of magnetic field lines. So there are generally the magnet producing the magnetic field lines around it. So that is the it is also the measurable of the ability of the material to allow the passage, to allow the quantity of magnetic field lines through it. Through it means any substance it can be able to through it. Or measure of the capacity of the substance to take magnetization. Or the another meaning for that, it can be capacity of the substance. That substance we are using that no to take magnetization. It can be magnetized or the degree of penetration of magnetic field through the substance. So that's why I told you the capacity to penetrate the magnetic field through a substance, that is called the magnetic permeability. Generally, the permeability is denoted as a letter mu. Here the three permeability is there. So one is in free space, the permeability is denoted as mu naught, and in the medium it is denoted by mu. So it can be related by the relative permeability mu r, that can be defined as the ratio of the free space, that is permeability in free space to the the ratio of the permeability in the medium to the permeability of the free space, that is mu r is equal to mu by mu naught. So this is the relative permeability, and it has not a dimensionless number and has no unit for that. So this is the magnetic permeability mu r, that is mu r is the relative permeability, is equal to mu by mu naught. Mu is the permeability in any material the magnetic field lines can penetrate, divided by mu naught is the permeability in a free space, the magnetism, that is the magnetic field lines penetrate in a free space. So it can be related by using this formula.